How's it going, guys? Dan and Mike here, coming to you as always from the Digital Warfare 24/7 forums, and today we are going to be returning to player analysis, which some of you guys might remember as a subset of Tactical Tuesday, where a good buddy of mine submits me some gameplay and then I try to tease out the really unique aspects of it that we can apply to our own gameplay. Now today, this gameplay is going to be from my good buddy Toffeeman. It is going to be a free-for-all on Sovereign, and we are going to be looking at the unique aspect of this gameplay, which is the fact that Toffeeman is going to be running a Deadeye class. Now, Deadeye is one of those perks where people were like, oh, it's going to be overpowered, it's going to be the new stopping power, but I really haven't seen it be all that prevalent, and the reason for that, I think, is that it takes a pretty specific class setup to make the most out of this very unique perk. So let's take a look at what Toffeeman has lined up here. He is actually going to have Sleight of Hand and Scavenger in his Specialist streak. He is going to have Focus and Dead Silence as his supporting perks to Deadeye, which he is starting with. Now, the importance of those cannot be overrated enough. I think if there are two perks that I think you can really have to say that they are the cornerstone of any class, they are going to be Focus and Dead Silence, especially when you're playing as a lone wolf in free-for-all. He also has Hardline on there, and that is all going to tie together with the fact that he is running the Specialist package, like I said. Now, the Specialist package is very important with Deadeye because it's going to allow you to bring in support perks to bolster your overall abilities. Now, Deadeye by itself is not going to get you through. It costs 5 points. It is going to be an extreme draw on your resources that you have to build your class, so you're going to want to supplement that as quickly as possible. Now, you might be asking, okay, sure, that makes sense as to why he'd run it with Specialist, but why does he only have 2 perks selected there? He has Sleight of Hand and Scavenger. Now, the reason for that is that if you have that third perk equipped, then you're going to go up to 10 kills required to get your full Specialist bonus. Whereas if you just have 2 perks that total 4 points or less, then you're going to get it in 8. And in fact, that's going to be 7 since he is running Hardline. So this is the single fastest way to get his Specialist set up that Toffeeman has here. Now, there's also a reason for why he does not have Deadeye simply in his Specialist bonus, why he doesn't wait to get it. And that is that Deadeye actually does not maximize its benefits until you get up to a 4 kill streak. And that includes if you earn it late in a kill streak. Say, if you earn it as part of your Specialist bonus, then Deadeye is going to start up not leveled up. It's going to start up as though you are still on just a 1 kill streak. So you're going to have to level it up again to get the full benefits of it. Now, if you don't have any kills in a kill streak, you have a 1 in 8 chance of getting a Deadeye bullet. It goes up to 1 in 6 once you get 1 kill, 1 in 3 once you get 2, 2 in 5 once you get 3, and then finally, once you get that 4th kill, it goes up to a 50% chance that each one of your bullets you land is going to do that little bit of extra damage. So what you really want to make sure is that once you get to your Specialist bonus that you already have Deadeye leveled up to the point where you are going to be putting those Deadeye bullets on people like crazy. That is going to be something especially important. Now, we're also going to take note of the gun that Toffeeman has chosen to use with his Deadeye class. There are certain guns that are going to be able to gain an extra bullet in terms of time to kill, or should I say lose a bullet, and those are the guns that are going to have a max damage of at least 42. Now, that happens to be the exact maximum damage of the Honey Badger, which Toffeeman is using in this situation. You'll see the math up on the screen that since one Deadeye bullet does plus 40% damage, then all you need is 1 Deadeye bullet in order to get a 2-hit kill at close range. Now, any primary weapon, any secondary weapon for that matter, that does less than 42 damage within range is not going to be able to get a 2-hit kill at close range, as you see him doing right there as he comes up the stairs on that guy. This is going to be something really interesting. You're going to want to use guns like the Remington, like the AK, and you're going to want to avoid guns that are weaker at close range. These are going to be guns like the FAD, the SC 2010, etc. Another way of looking at it is that guns that can put a lot of bullets down range are going to benefit a lot from stopping power, as the more bullets you're shooting, the higher a chance that you're going to be able to get the Deadeye multiplier. And these are going to be guns like the very fast firing SMGs. You might notice yourself a pretty significant increase from that as well. So cannot fault Nick at all for the honey badger that he is running here. Let's talk a little bit about what we think about the other perks that he's running. I'm not so sure sleight of hand is such a necessity in this case, because he does have that honey badger. It is going to be able to flip that mag out to the side and reload nice and snappily, and since it already has the silencer, he can add grip and extended mags. With extended mags, you're going to have even less of a need for sleight of hand. So what I would really like to see maybe is him equipping a different 2-point perk there. For free-for-all, I would really recommend sit rep because of people and their IEDs. I think Nick does die once or twice to IEDs, although oftentimes it can be much more if you even just have a couple people using multiple IEDs. Another option that would be really good for going on an extended streak is ping. Ping is going to reveal any nearby enemies, and that's something that, switching over to talk a little bit more about the gameplay here, would be really useful for Nick, because I notice in many situations he's going up against a player and he's killing him, and his immediate instinct is to relocate, which makes sense in a way, because you know you've just made noise by firing your weapon. Even if it's suppressed, you're thinking, I need to get out of there, I need to relocate before somebody finds me. But the realistic way of thinking about it in free-for-all is that with how close the spawns are and the fact that you don't have any friendlies, anyone you encounter is going to be an enemy. There's a good chance that the guy that you just killed, someone else had already seen him and was already running towards him to try to get the kill himself. So a lot of the time you're going to kill someone and you're going to be lulled into a false sense of security, like, oh, I've cleared this area, and one more guy will pop up. This is also applicable for high traffic areas in non-free-for-all game modes, and also in ground war when there are certain spawns that concentrate people on a certain side of the map. And so if he had ping on, what this would do is it would enable him to check his surroundings instantly as soon as he gets a kill. I feel like this would be really, really beneficial towards Nick's playstyle. Another thing that's really interesting that I want to talk about is how Nick compensates for not running sleight of hand or stalker. Now for me, I cannot stand not using stalker. It is a huge crutch for me. I use it for checking corners mostly, and you're going to see that Nick uses a different approach to checking corners, and it's something that Deadeye actually contributes towards. So you'll notice every time he approaches a doorway, he's basically going to slow down, he's going to raise his weapon, and he's going to point the crosshairs right through the opening as he goes around. And a lot of his deaths are from when he doesn't do this well enough, but for the most part he really does do a good job of this. And by using that hip fire to cover his approaches, he's giving himself a really good chance to negotiate tight corners and tight quarters. And I would use Stalker normally to slide around corners to do this, but he has an added advantage in Deadeye that he doesn't have to be overly accurate at close range with that honey badger, because he's going to have that 2-hit kill potential going, and that actually saves him a lot of times in this gameplay. It actually works out really, really well for Nick. So maybe even steady aim would be a good option for another 2-point perk that he could equip instead of sleight of hand, come to think of it. So it's winding down here. Nick is going to be pushing into the top and getting this last kill, making use of Deadeye in really one of the best ways that I think you can. Nick really exemplifying a solid Deadeye setup here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for next week's player analysis, where we take a look at some KEM gameplay.
Fuck you gonna do?